Hey folks, and welcome to Fallout 76. Quick explanation before we get started. This has been a long time channel running, but I'm rebranding into Fallout 76 exclusive content only, so if that's something that interests you, feel free to stick around. Otherwise, let's just get right into it. So this will be my gunslinging explosive ghoul build, mainly using the Pedro, but also has a sniper rifle for long range for events. You can use this build in all aspects of the game except raids. I wouldn't take this build into raids, but everything else is fine. Even Scorchbeast Queen, Errol, whatever. You're going to be doing enough damage to contribute. It's not a solo build as such, but you can solo almost all content with this build. I'll be bringing better builds for soloing bosses later. But with all that said, what I'll do is I'll show you a quick overview of the guns that I'm using with this build, the perk cards, the armour, and then I'll show you some footage of the build in action itself. Now this build doesn't use any power armour, there's no power armour here, and no buffing. I don't really use any buffs or anything, it's just a straight up build. Also, even though it is an endgame build, you can use this at lower levels. I was using it at lower levels, it was just certain cards I took out, and when we go over the perk cards, I'll show you what cards you can take out if you're not quite there yet. So, with all that said, let's just get straight into the weapons and gear first. So, we'll go over the weapons quickly first. I'm going to keep this as brief as possible. There's things that are here that are not necessary and things that are, and I'll make that clear as we go along. So, Furious for the first star on the Dom Pedro, necessary. Explosive, necessary. Swift, not necessary, you can change that. Conductors, not necessary, you can change that, it's just quality of life. Prime Receiver, long barrel, stabilised grip, Fortunate 6 magazine, reflex sight, explosive penetrating. So I'll leave that up for a second in case that's the full page of the Dom Pedro. I'm not going to go through every single choice I've made here. The reason that I'm picking these is mostly I tried to increase AP cost essentially on the gun for the number cruncher. That's our short range and your main weapon. This will do the main damage. Your backup for range, so this is for events like eviction notice and things such, where you need range rather so you're not running around to get close to the enemies to shoot them. You'll use a short hunting rifle. That's all this is just a short hunting rifle. Again, Furious and explosives required. The other 2 stars, the 3 and the 4 star, that's up to you. That's flavour, so you can change these as you wish. Prime Receiver, true long barrel, forceful stock, piercing magazine, long scope. Again, just trying to increase AP cost and range on the gun essentially with these, and I don't use a muzzle because it reduces the range. In regards to where you get these, the Dom Pedro you'll get in the seasons rewards with the mods, so you just need to do the seasons track and you'll get all of that. This is just a short hunting rifle, so you can get that planned at any of the train stations I'm sure, and the mods as well. So you might even already have this unlocked. Once you unlock it, I think if you just craft them and break them down, you'll learn the mods for the gun anyway. And they're very cheap and easy to make. So that's the 2 guns that I'm using for this build. So for the armour, I'm just using the shielded camo Secret Service Under Armour. You could use a different Under Armour if you want. I've had this one for the longest time and I don't plan on changing it until the armour mod, so the armour changes come up from the PTS, so I'm just going to leave as is. I've got full Secret Service, which you can get from regs at Vault 79. You need to go through the main story to do that. There's no 4 star on this, so there's no extra damage coming from there. You could put 4 stars on it if you want, but I'm leaving it alone until the armour changes happen. They're all buttressed, deep pocketed with a jetpack on the chest piece, and they are Vanguards, Intelligence, Through Hikers. Now Intelligence you could change, I just have that because I like to change over to a laser rifle build now and again. But Vanguards and Through Hikers, I would say, is a must. You're always going to try and keep your glow high because you have that extra 20% damage from shots that take from your glow. So Vanguards is the obvious choice, and Through Hikers is so we don't have to use cards in the build. If you can't get Through Hikers, it potentially might break the build, having to put some weight cards in. There is flexibility, as I'll show in the perk tree, but again, you'd have to try and figure out for yourself if you can't get Through Hikers. So that is the armour, and you can get, like I say, you can get the Secret Service from regs at Vault 79, plus the mods for that armour at him as well. So for the perks, now what I'm not going to do is show you the sheet with the spread and say this is your spread, because I do it a different way. So this is my point spread, how I've got it, but you can shift this around and you can move it around if you're at a lower level, if you don't have the, as you can see, I've got all the legendary perks maxed out, but if you don't have this, and you've only got some up or whatever, I'll show you where you can move points around within this build, so you can make it work if that's what you want to do. So first and foremost, in the strength, we've got shotgun champ. Not necessary. You can take this out if you don't have the points to fit it. It's just an extra 10% damage. Easy target, leave that in. Barbarian, not required. So again, you can move the point somewhere else if you need it. Scatter shot, leave that in. Blocker, not required. You can move that out, move the points somewhere else if you need. And arms of steel, I would leave that in. Number cruncher, required. Downranger, not really required. It's more for when we're using the sniper rifle at events. So again, if you desperately need the points elsewhere, you can take this out and move the points into a different category to get better the actual necessary cards that you need in. Tormentor, leave that in. Tank killer, needed. Awareness, I would probably leave in. Eye of the Hunter, not absolutely necessary, but I would try and get it in at some level. Even 1, 2 or 3 is fine. On the endurance, Life Giver, Ironclad, Adamantium Skeleton, not required. You can take that out. These two I would leave in. Cannibal, not required. Again, just a quality of life, so you can take that out if you need the point elsewhere. Again, same with Fireproof. You can move the point elsewhere if you need it. Starch Jeans, you can move this as well if you don't need it. Radiation Power, this is just for extra damage when you have high glow, for when you have glow, so you need to keep on top of it. If you really don't want to mess with that, you can take it out, but you are losing 20% damage per hit if you do that. And then the Glowing Gut, I would leave that in just for if you are going to top up your radiation during combat and such. Charisma, again, Travel Agent, not necessary, it's just quality of life. And Stranger Numbers, so you could put this down to 1 and just go with Stranger Numbers if you want to. Again, you only need Demolition Expert here. I have Field Surgeon just for quality of life. You could put this down to 3 and move the points elsewhere. Gunslinger Master, must be in. Gunslinger at least level 2, must have. Expert, must have. Guerrilla Expert, must have. Master, must have. Enforcer, quality of life, you can move these points elsewhere if you need. But if you can, I would try and put it in, because it is a good card to have with this build. The Luck, better criticals, required. Ricochet, you can move this elsewhere if you need. 4-leaf Clover, it's debatable, can move elsewhere if you need, but I tend to leave it in because the guns do miss more than often, even when you've got a 95% chance for some reason. So it's good to just get the crit meter up. Class Freak, I would leave that in. Critical Savvy, leave it in. Faulty Spots, must be in. Wild West Hands, you can move this somewhere else, the points somewhere else if you need to. So that's why I'm not showing you the spread. The cards I've told you need in, you will need to make the build work. The cards I've told you are not necessary. You can move the points around if you're lower level and you don't have your legendary perks up yet to do that. So yeah, it is flexible, so you can fix it as need be, but try and stick to the essentials that I've told you. Now for the mutations, and again, I'll tell you if it's necessary. So Adrenal Reaction, I probably would have that in. Bird Bones is, yeah, I'd probably keep that in because we take Marsupial, so it's for the fall damage. They kind of go hand in hand. Carnivore, I would change that to Herbivore if you can, for the company T. I just have it there because I can't be bothered to change it. Chameleon, not required. Eagle Eyes, I would keep that in. Egghead, not required, but I do use laser gun build, so that's why I have Egghead. Healing Factor, not required, just a quality of life. Herd Mentality is just so we can get some extra stats in a group. Even if you're in a group on your own, this will still work. Marsupial, yep, again for the extra carry weight. And the jump height is actually quite necessary for this build, so you can jump high in the air to be able to shoot enemies on the ground so you don't kill yourself. Scaly Skin, Speed Demon, and Unstable Isotope, which again, Unstable Isotope's not required. It's just a flavour, quality of life thing that I have in. So with that said, I am going to get into a group real. So here at West Tech, so I wanted to show you the sniper rifle first, because as you can see, say you're at range with a Dom Pedro, you're not hitting these guys. Look at that, 26, 27. But say you need a little range, you've got your sniper rifle. You pull that out, bang.
And you're still one-shotting these mobs with a sniper rifle. So I like to pull the sniper rifle out at events, eviction notice, moonshine jamboree, any sort of events you can post up somewhere high and get a view. Although I'm missing everybody, it's because they're going behind cover. As you can see, the sniper rifle will do the job just fine. And it's got AoE there, you see that? It killed 2 enemies at once. So this build actually has amazing AoE. There's a legendary, you can just 2-shot the legendary with your sniper rifle. There you go. And then if you want to get your glow back up with the cannibal perk, you can just eat the corpses. As easy as that. So what we'll do is I'll go inside. And we'll take a look at the Dom Pedro. Now you are actually getting more damage than you see in VATS sometimes. The hidden explosive damage that's happening, you're not seeing sometimes, especially with the Don Pedro. So now we get the Don Pedro out. And there you go, 3k. But that was, it was probably more than 3k. Now you can't shoot close, this is the problem. You have to get back. Now you see there 2k plus 1.7 and 1.7. So that's closer to the damage you're actually getting with this build. There you go. I'll try and shoot someone without VATS. Stay still. There you go, and you see all the damage. So the bullet itself is the weakest part. It's actually the explosions on the side. You've seen were 2k each. There, 2k, 2k, but the bullet itself's 900. So it's really high damage. You can hit fire it as well on the ground. If you want to kill a target, you can just shoot the ground. Also, this is where you can get toxic goo. If you're interested, you can collect it from here. And there you go. You can just run around. How fast you could just clear a room. Very nice. And there's the Wild West hands kicking in and giving me a full clip again without having to reload. So let's try a bigger target now. We'll go take a look at the Super Mutant Behemoth. So here we are at the big guy. Just get in range, let him get up. So we'll take the first hit. As you can see, and you can fire faster than this, but I like to just... That's the problem with VATS as well. Sometimes you do not see the VATS. And here's the beauty of the cripple. You're going to cripple your... If you don't kill them outright. And if you see that, 2k, 2k, 2.6. That's almost 7 odd k there, almost. There you are. And we'll now go try a Scorchbeast Queen. So here we are at the Scorchbeast. So as you can see here, you don't get good range with the Pedro, but the crits will help with that. That's what the 4-leaf clover for. If you notice, my crit bar's still going up when I'm missing. There we go. As you can see, you can just quickly... Oh, and there it is. I'll leave that in to show you the danger. There's the danger of the gun. You can kill yourself if an enemy is too close. You need to be very careful. What I like to do is jump into the air and then shoot the ground if they're close. But let's go take out the Scorchbeast then. So you'll see. There you go. Very, very quick and easy. Not a problem at all. There you go, 2 enemies at once again. Here's a perfect example. So you got someone close, you want to jump into there and shoot the ground. And that'll avoid you killing yourself while you're in the... So here we are at a Grunt hunt. This is perfect because this is going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Because I like to come and test weapons against the Deathclaws here as well. So I will show that off to the kind of damage you can get. I think this one's resilient, which means the target's going to be resilient probably. Yep, resilient outlaw. So as you can see, you usually take them down in 2 hits, but we're going to have to smack him. Again, try not to kill yourself when you're shooting. And then what we'll do is, again, Deathclaws and Burning Springs, one of the strongest enemies in the open, I think. Just get rid of this first. You see, first shot took almost half its health. 3 hits, it's dead. I think there's another one around here somewhere. See if we can get another one. Yep. There you go. 2 shots and it's dead. So yeah, really, really strong build. Really good daily driver. It's gonna do really well at most wanted. The wanted posters, the bounty hunts as well. It's gonna take chunks out of the legendaries, and you will have no problem with everything else in the game while you're just daily driving. Like I said, positives, it's ammo positive, very strong. Negatives, you can kill yourself, and really tanky enemies like Scorchbeast Queen or Earl or the events from the nuke, you will fall off in damage when you're firing for extended periods of time. The damage is still high enough that as long as there's a group there and you're not trying to solo those things, you'll be fine. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. If you've got any questions, anything you think could improve the build, any tweaks, anything you want to ask about, just leave it in the comments and I will try and respond. I will be uploading more Fallout 76 videos to come. So yeah, hope to see you there.